Yo, 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 yo. So I'm going to do a little bit of a producer chat about B.T.D, Big Chocolate Remix with The Way to Silence. This is the first single from an EP we did that I'm going to go into much more detail about how this all came together and through each track as well. Each track is very different. A little bit of background without getting into the full story. The Way to Silence is an Australian trap metal band, and we started doing remixes. I won't get into it. I'll say that for another video, but I want to talk about B.T.D remix. So I'm going to be listening to it in the background and just give my thoughts on certain bits, certain details. So this track's at 140 beats per minute. I think three of the 5 are at 140 beats per minute. I tried to keep, on this particular project, I kept every song kind of structurally integral to the original songwriting. These auto-tune vocals in the beginning are vocals I added. I actually added a lot of vocals on some of these songs in the background. I love like the auto-tune, how you can kind of choose like a vowel sound and really go with it. That's what was my, kind of my thing I've been loving doing with auto-tune lately. Especially the ahs, ha ha, ha ha. Just like relied on a lot of relied on the strong songwriting that The Way to Silence already had in a lot of their songs. They already had a really strong, intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, a lot of flavor. I love the comedy stuff in this too. The Ricky Bobby, Ain't First You're Last. Drop hits at 140. Kind of late in the song, but again, it's more of like a song. The dubstep in this song is great too. It really reminds me of like that 2010 UKF dubstep YouTube channel. I love like the ethereal vocals kind of all over the place. Love how it breaks down into that lo-fi vocal with just the simple beat, and then the guitars come in. It's like where the real metal kind of comes in, but it still has that like clubby drum beat. I love J-Fig's vocals on this stuff. And then the chorus with the guitars. Very uplifting. At this point in the song, I'm just like totally hooked into it. And at this point in the song, that's when I know I wanted to listen to it again too. Then the dubstep hits. Simple, easy. Great for all daily tasks. Cleaning, doing chores, laundry. Outro, just extended. I love all the vocal samples on this song too, like the You Got This King.
You got this, King.
I love it. It has like this, there's this, I've heard a lot of people talk about this lately. Like I heard Rick Rubin talk about this on a podcast this last year. I think he was talking about it with Anthony Kiedis, where you can write a song and you don't know if the song is what the song's about. You might know what the song's about in a few years or something. And then I was listening to James Hetfield talk about this in an interview recently as well. I read or listened to the Metallica audiobook recently, so I've been kind of you know, watching Metallica interviews and whatnot. And he was talking about just like his experience, you know, probably in the 80s, driving around in Europe with like headphones on. And he was talking about how he was like kind of more old school. He was saying like every song might have like 300 different meanings. And, you know, those guys saying that is something I've kind of always resonated with my own music as well. Like I'll put things into my music that are, they might mean a couple different things to me, but they're meant, and one of the meanings to them is to have that like interpretation effect when it hits everybody else. Like I know when certain people hear this at certain points of their life, they're gonna feel one way about it, you know? And in that way, like that's what I'm meaning when they hear it, but you know, it's meaning different things for different people at different times. So I like how James Hetfield said that, where every song can have 3 different meanings. I really believe that, you know. I have always believed that. So it's great to hear like people like James Hetfield and Rick Rubin talking about Anthony Kiedis, about how that's kind of how they feel about it too. Well, that's B.T.D, Big Chocolate Remix. It's out on all streaming platforms. Definitely stay tuned for, this is kind of the first backstory about this EP and everything, and kind of some of the first media about it, besides just saying that, you know, posting an album art or whatever. But a lot more to come from this. I can't wait for it to come out, you know. It's funny too, last thing I'll say is like when I'm in a really healthy relationship with producing and songwriting, I'll write really, really fast and mix fast too. And these things came together really, really fast. Like, we'll elaborate on this later, but you know, I think I did all these remixes when like within the time frame, maybe 2 weekends or something. And I didn't spend that much time mixing it. I think I took like a few weeks off after I made it, and then came back and did some kind of slight more level adjusting, and then sent it off to the mastering. Shout out Bob Mack. And when I got it back, I just knew, I mean, I got a great relationship with my mastering guy, and I just knew it was like perfect. And he said something about it being solid too. So I'm like, okay, it's done. It kind of, you know, sent it off to The Way to Silence, and I just chilled on it for a while. And when this came out, like when it came on Spotify, I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna listen to it. And you know, the first time listening to it, I was like, okay. And then I think I put it on again later, and then like I was talking about before, like it just has this like replay value to it. And now I'm just like addicted to listening to it. And I've been just, you know, going through the EP that's coming out soon a bunch, and I love it. I can't wait to share it. I think everyone's gonna really like it. Everyone involved really loves it too. It's a good project. Yeah, so I want to do more of these where I kind of talk about what went into the track, some backstory stuff. I think it's interesting. It's great to share too. Keep following. Appreciate the support from everyone. Peace.